like Lauren Hill, me I kill them softly. This a girl.
It's Madden NFL 22, and we've got a showdown in the NFC North. It's the Vikings and the Bears on Monday night.
Now, the good news is that the winds aren't as violent as they were yesterday in Chicago, but it's still pretty darn cold. To be expected, I guess, for December football at Soldier Field. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerged from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we, as the Bears get set to match up with the Minnesota Vikings. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. CD, you look at the Vikings coming into play. Their offense is one that doesn't rely too heavily on just one guy. They like to spread things around as best they can.
You're right about that. It's a diverse unit, and they like to run their offense by what they call game plan, meaning each and every week they study the opponent, they probe its weaknesses, and they move the ball around that way. They emphasize who's going to get it based on what they think they'll accomplish in that game. Other teams, they're a system team. They're going to run what they run no matter what. I like this style of offense. It suits them well.
Santos now ready to get this one started. And off we go from Soldier Field. And he opts to not bring this one out. The first drive will start at the 25. And the Minnesota offense ready to go to work here. Their quarterback in his 10th season overall now, and fourth is a Viking, Kirk Cousins.
Not bad for a fourth-round draft pick. Well over 100 career starts now. And the chemistry with his top targets, really on point. They spend a lot of time in practice and after practice making sure the routes are run well, and he knows exactly where they're going to be on the field. And when they get open, he delivers.
Now the first carry for Dalvin Cook. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Well, for an inside linebacker, I think you'd agree when I say that he is fast to the football, and he proved that thesis correct on that last play.
And I have to think that when this play began, the running back thought to himself that this looks promising, but that feeling certainly didn't last very long. Super play defensively to lock in on the best route to his target, and he stopped him for no gain.
And according to Next Gen Stats, his top speed on that one, better than 20 miles an hour. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So the flag thrown for the contact, mark off the yardage.
And sometimes you just read a hitch route way too fast. You get there before you're supposed to, and there's the penalty. About complementary football. We usually talk about, does the offense help the defense? Does the defense help the offense? I think in this case, does the quarterback help out his offensive line? You only have a certain amount of time to get rid of the football. They can only do so much. On this play, he took them to the limits.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. Eddie Goldman providing a little deja vu, back-to-back sacks, and now they're staring at a 4th and long. They'll make that a second sack here on their first drive out defensively, and not to get ahead of ourselves, but they're on pace for double-digit sacks at this point.
Well, they're going to have to find a way to tamp that down, aren't they? So if you're the play caller, you're telling your quarterback maybe some screens, maybe some draws, hard count, use your voice inflection a little bit, anything to try and slow that pressure down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Just a 2-yard return there following a punt of 48. And the Bears take over. The Bears offense ready to go to work here for the first time, leading them out the 11th overall pick of the 2021 draft, Justin Fields out of Ohio State.
And just a few years after the Bears made a big move at quarterback, taking Mitchell Trubisky, they did it again this year, moving from number 20 to number 11 in the draft to select Justin Fields out of Ohio State. This offense was just 26th in total yardage last year, so they needed some production. Justin Fields, 63 touchdown passes his last 2 years at Ohio State. They're expecting him to be their guy for the future.
They will run for the first time with David Montgomery. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
On 2nd and 9, Fields. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. Now Fields. And he's got it. What a catch on the sideline. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. And off comes to Montgomery. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Fields. That's complete right side to Kmet. That'll go for a gain of 7. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. Justin Fields at quarterback gets the completion there. CD, what do you think the key is to stopping this talented former Buckeye?
Pressure, pressure, pressure. Rookie quarterbacks have to survive the initiation of the pressure of the NFL. Now, his athleticism can scare you a little bit because if he evades it, he can go a long way. But in the beginning, you want his eyes to go to the rush, not downfield. So bring those extra guys and see if he can handle it.
And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Nice job keeping that opening drive alive, and they're in plus territory, that part of the field where you really want to convert on 3rd down. They did.
Big time pickup for them, and now I think the aggressive play callers think to themselves, this part of the field, I take my shot at the end zone, because the closer you get to the end zone, the field gets condensed. Makes it a lot tougher to run those routes. You still got a chance to actually run past people right now. Take your shot at the end zone early in the down and distance count.
And he fires one that's intercepted. Xavier Woods with a pick. And the Vikings are going to take over at their own 13-yard line. The rookie was trying to push it downfield, but the safety bit him.
And he'll learn that you have to hold the safety. And you do that with your head movement, your eyes, sometimes your shoulders. hold the safety so that you can get back to the throw that you really want to make. He got so excited thinking his guy was open that he made it easy for the defensive back to go get the football.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 13. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw.
And that's complete to K.J. Osborne.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing the football, hoping to catch him off balance.
And he did. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Cousins to throw it. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere. And they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well. And that's what they just did on that play.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Cousins gives way to Cook. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. To throw, Cousins. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Robert Quinn able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Man, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game. I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So now after the sack, Cousins and the Vikings come up here 3rd and long. Here's Cousins. That's complete to Justin Jefferson. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
Well, the good thing about covering any game I do with you is I know that there's no problem with rhythm. Now, when we're watching offensively, a little bit of a problem there.
Yeah, punt on the first drive, looking at another one here. Just a little slow. You know, they were talking about a fast start, but that hasn't been the case.
Yeah, and let's face it, any team we cover always talks about a fast start.
That's true.
But it's not necessarily going to happen just because they say so. And whether it's the script, whether it's, you know, just what they're going through, whether they're seeing different defenses, they're going to have to figure it out as this game moves on.
Out of bounds as he appeared to be looking for the corner. He got it. They're going to mark this at the 4-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw.
7 yards, the pickup there.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped him. The guy can turn it loose. And boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Throwing again on second down. Fields. And the hook up here to Allen Robinson.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Back to throw. Fields. That's complete to Mooney. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up second down. To throw is Fields. Buying time to his left. And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact. The last drive, remember, similar situation. He forced the ball in the coverage through the pick. He learned better there.
Yeah, similar to a golfer that's confronted with a shot that you just can't make. Sometimes you have to take your medicine, as they say, right? Just pull it down, take off, and go. Don't make something worse than what it was.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Here's Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney. And he's corralled at the 40, but not before picking up 8. Well, that's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one out of the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
On second down, Montgomery. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
Second and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
Fields on first down. And his throw is incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Komet. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. We're scoreless after 1. Back in Chicago, ready for the second quarter. It's the Bears in possession as they've got it with a 3rd down coming up. Play action. It's Fields. And Graham's got it, complete. And he will have the Bears first down. It won't be by much. He needed 3, and he got 3, barely. But the mark shows first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. He's obviously a bit of a shorter running back. And sometimes when he goes up the middle like that, he gets lost in there, and then he pops out for 10, 20 yards.
I actually asked NFL linebackers if that was true. Do you actually lose sight of some of the smaller running backs? And all of them confirmed that that can be a problem. Think of it this way. Two of the top running backs in NFL history, Emmitt Smith, Barry Sanders, both 5'10".
First down, they run again. Here's Montgomery, finding room to the 20. Touchdown, Chicago! 31 yards for David Montgomery as his guys are on the board first here tonight. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
Cairo Santos on to try the extra point. And he's got it to make it 7-0 in favor of the Bears. A pretty long drive that time, 11 plays all told. And it was David Montgomery's touchdown run that polished it all off. The touchdown here, Santos to kick this one away.
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Kirk Cousins and the Vikings offense back on the field. And maybe he's starting to wave the white flag a little bit. He's playing pretty well, but the pressure, it's got to him.
Has to find a way to step around it, step through it, or just handle it. Because, as you mentioned, he's having a pretty good day overall. Just the hits keep coming and taking those sacks. That's not the way that they want to finish a ball game with their quarterback on the ground so much.
Now, he'd like to stay upright. When he's been upright, he's been pretty good. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They've had it twice. They've punted twice. Not the start they were hoping for.
Not at all, and let's face it, every facility we visit, everyone talks about converting that third down, how big that is. In this situation, they've had to punt it away twice, so they're furiously going over things on the sidelines. What do we need to do to pick up a first down and change our momentum?
Now it's 2nd and 9.
Cousins. That's to Dalvin Cook, his running back. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They run the counter with Cook. And not a lot of daylight. Not really any daylight inside as he's going to be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Brings up 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again, 2nd and 10. Handoff comes to Cook. And again, he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
2 runs for a net gain of nothing. Now here's 3rd and 10. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there of limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. He gets this away. It's a good one. Drawing toward the sidelines. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession. And it may just be the second quarter, but he's in his zone, well on his way to eclipsing that 100-yard mark.
And when a back has a game, as we're witnessing right now, his name's going to be in the books. But it's really a collective deal, isn't it? Because that means he's getting plenty of blocking, a lot of help from his teammates, but he's making the most of it.
Yeah, he's made the most of it to this point. On 1st and 10, here's Fields. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39.
When the hitch routers run really well, that jab step off the line of scrimmage by the receiver, which is designed to back up the defender and give him a little bit of space, all you want there, get that space, catch the football, and then make a move and pick up extra yardage. And that's exactly what he got done there.
On 1st down, Fields. Deep ball for Goodwin. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
There is something to a game plan when trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep. Try and throw some air under it and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. On play action, Fields. Open man is Komet, the tight end. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
The Bears on 3rd down. A perfect 3 for 3 as they look to keep that streak going. This will be 3rd and 5. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So on 4th down, on is the punter, Pat O'Donnell, to kick it away. Back deep, D.D. Westbrook. But he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Amazing, perfectly placed. If that ball goes 1 extra yard, maybe not even an extra yard, the starting point is the 20.
So there is a reason that a lot of punters are also excellent golfers. They know distance control. You know what else they have? Same groove motion over and over. Once they have that down, it repeats under pressure.
Here's Cook as they begin on the ground. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
2nd and 6. No, scratch that. 2nd and 7. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And quickly to Thielen here.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
A first down throw for Cousins. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
2nd and 10.
To throw is Cousins. And brought down, but not before they're able to get it up to the 25.
That was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field. And he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Cousins again. Pressure, and he's taken down. A Bear sack. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd.
So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Another try after the first down sack. Cousins,
middle of the field to Jefferson.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
It's a nice completion, a little bit of run after catch as well to create the yardage that they got. But it is so tough to cover that route, the drag route, because they run it at varying speeds. Because the key is to create hesitancy on the defender's part.
Always so empathetic for those DBs, aren't you? Able to complete this one to Tyler Conklin.
And he will have a Vikings first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
On 1st and 10, Cousins. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Osborne. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 47. Play action now. Cousins. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take over once again with a football at their own 20-yard line.
Before we came up to the booth, the last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. They're out in front. Last time they had to punt it away. We'll see if they can add to their lead now.
They don't want to go out and punt it away again. This team now wants to get a cushion, put people away. They want to run their offense and have it end up in the end zone.
Tackle made that time by Anthony Barr.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 4-yard run on first down.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
The Bears on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 6.
From the gun, here's Fields.
Deep ball for Goodwin. And unable to connect, incomplete. Give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down.
That's an excellent job right there on 3rd down. Like any defense, you never want to let them get anything started, and that would have been a 1st down. Instead, you saw the contact on time, no penalty, and before this drive could get wings, it's 4th down.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. 47 yards on the punt that time, just 1 yard on the return. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10.
And the football going back to the Vikings offense.
And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw.
And the timing a bit off that time as that one falls to the ground.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Cousins now.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
As defensive coordinators around the league tell me all the time, that throw is not for every quarterback because you've really got to drive the ball downfield. It's going to be a tight window for him to fit that one into. In this case, unsuccessfully.
On 3rd down, Cousins.
And that nearly intercepted. For a guy known for his hands defensively, that's a ball he probably thinks he should have come up with. But instead, it's 4th down.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And that will come the offense as they take over.
David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession.
He's been good. His guys are winning. So far, the recipe working here in the 2nd quarter.
And he doesn't like to just tote the rock. He wants to carry his team on his back. And that's what he's done throughout this game.
Yeah, he's done that. He'll be hoping to continue that trend. Game clock at 2:01. Time for one final play before the 2-minute warning. They'll start on the ground with Montgomery. And not much room there, so he'll get it up only to about the 21.
1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports.
Coming up at halftime in a little less than 2 minutes, we'll send you to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman is standing by. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw complete here to Kmet.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. An extra defender in the secondary for the Vikings here on 3rd down.
Here's Fields. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted.
Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And he's going to get this one to the 23-yard line. 2nd interception for him now here in this first half. And you got to think he's a rookie, Charles. How much does confidence start to become a factor?
I think that's a great question because that's what they're going to check on when he gets to the sidelines. The coach is going to check on it. His teammates are going to check on it because when you haven't done it before, it's not something that's part of you, you got to see how you're going to react. Let's see how he bounces back.
Yeah, because 2 interceptions for him in college and a half. I mean, that just didn't happen. Following the interception, Cousins. And it'll be intercepted. Picked up by Jalen Johnson. And the Bears are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. And that now 2 interceptions thrown in the second quarter.
And you know, a lot of people look at these guys and they think to themselves that maybe, possibly, they're still thinking about the first one. And they probably are. I think in this case, he's just trying to atone for the first interception. Tried a little bit too hard, maybe forced it a bit, and instead created a second one.
The Bears offense now gets set to head back onto the field. There was still more than a minute to go in the half. Time to try to mount a drive.
And I would think that they would have to. This is today's NFL. You got to push it whenever you get an opportunity. You can never have enough points with the high-powered offenses that you face. And analytics will tell you, try and score when given the opportunity.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. This one swung out to Montgomery. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Here's Fields. Man open, it's Goodwin. And he's out of bounds, able to take this one up to the 35. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
Partner, took a while for him to lock onto a receiver, and he finally found his man coming left to right across the formation. But by the time he got the ball to him, not much of a chance to turn upfield and make anything out of it.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Fields. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Now it's Fields. Dancing to his left. Room to run past midfield. And Fields going to have the first down before sliding to a halt to avoid the contact. Fields on 1st down. Throw left side complete. That's Montgomery. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and it'll be 2nd down. Now Fields. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Out of the gun, Fields. He'll get this underneath to Montgomery. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon, and it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, do you assign a man to him and try and cover it before he gets going?
Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, this from 46. Santos' kick is up and through, and the lead moves to 10-zip. So they wind up turning the turnover into points as they convert there for 3.
Yeah, that was a nice job there to force the fumble. They recover, hand things over to their offense, and then the offense went down and got them 3. That alone, that's not enough to win a game, but both units able to do their jobs on these last 2 drives.
So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll be backed up to start this drive as he's taken down right around the 15.
He'll take the knee, and the final couple seconds will tick by in this first half. So we come upon halftime here at Soldier Field with the Bears out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much, and welcome everyone to this abridged version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. First, though, let's run through the next-gen stats for the Vikings in that first half. And not much went right in those first 2 quarters. You can see the numbers on the ground there. Not a whole lot to write home about so far. Meanwhile, for the Bears, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Set to resume. Here we go with the second half. The Bears holding the lead and ready to receive the kick. This is Jakeem Grant. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
Third quarter starting with a run from Montgomery. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
Back to Montgomery.
dropped just before the line to gain.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Off the option, here's Montgomery.
And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a fourth down.
They tried their best to pick up that 3rd and 1, but their surge wasn't enough to counteract what came back at them from the defensive side, was it?
Offensive line, especially in the middle, looked like they were on skates a little bit when that one started.
So now we bring up 4th and inches. This would be a critical call.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now as he's on to punt for Chicago. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Kirk Cousins now, the centerpiece of our player spotlight. And he has not really been able to have a lot of comfort back there in the pocket. Pressure's been coming at him a lot, hasn't it?
And they've got to figure out how to tamp down that pressure. How do they decrease it? Is it getting rid of the football quicker? You know, shorter drops? Maybe they do something different with their pass blocking and their protection schemes. Maybe you meet them on the line of scrimmage instead of retreating to try and protect your quarterback. They've got to figure something out, though, because you cannot let your guy get hit that much, not if you intend to win.
I know they'd like to erase that video and those 4 sacks that they've seen so far.
Oh, going for Jefferson downfield.
And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Throwing again, Cousins on 2nd and 10.
He's going to get this one down to Cook.
And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Cousins. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, when the second half comes, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs.
Another drive coming up for this Chicago offense.
This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
To Montgomery to begin the drive. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
From the 27,
Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Draw play. Fields gives to Montgomery.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35.
Someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on third down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Read option, here's Montgomery. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. 2nd down.
Not a lot of running room there, not a place to make a cut and kind of exit out because they had everything bottled up. Looked to me like the linemen were taking on their blocks really well and giving up no creases.
The last run got 3, now here's 2nd and 7. On the ground, it's Montgomery. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 88 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Couple of first downs on the drive already as they'll go from the 47 now on 1st down. Now Montgomery, he's got it on the draw. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
When a draw works, it can be a thing of beauty. But when it doesn't, oh, it can be ugly. And in this case, loss of yardage ugly.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. A give. This is Montgomery. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Fields. They'll set up the screen to Montgomery. And they'll bring him down right at midfield, and he is well short of the 1st down. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
The key to any screen play is all in the deception. And that means everyone on the offensive side of the ball. But someone gave it up because that one wasn't very well concealed. And the defense able to rally to him and hold him for just a short gain.
Here's Pat O'Donnell now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. This is away and a very good kick angled for the sidelines.
Minnesota's offense takes over possession.
These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 14-yard line.
He'll start by handing it off to Dalvin Cook.
And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
A good gain on 1st has him set up with 2nd and just a couple of inches now from the 29. On play action, Cousins. Open man here is Conklin. And he gets this up to the 34 out of bounds there.
2nd and short, that's a rundown, so it's definitely a good time to go play action if you're feeling it. And they do so and pick up a 1st down.
Back-to-back good play. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And able to use his blockers to get this up over the 40. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Again, it's Cook. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Throwing is Cousins. And complete right side to Cook. And he will be very close to a 1st down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that's going to bring up a 4th down.
How about that strategy there, Brandon? 3rd down. They just said, we've got faith in our tacklers. We'll give you the short stuff, and just decided to protect the sticks. So every time I hear fans telling me tackling's not a part of the game anymore, plays like that, I can clip and save and show them you have to tackle well if you want to be a good defense.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And there are the numbers. Got off to that torrid hot start. We thought he was in for maybe a career day. Not the case.
No doubt about it. It almost looks like a misprint after what we saw in the first half. But let's give a little bit of credit to the guys on our side of the ball. They went in at halftime, made a few adjustments, and you know what else? They didn't lose their confidence in their ability to play. Because a lot of times you get beat down in the first half, it gets ugly in the second half. They've come out with a new resolve and a renewed determination.
They'll run on 1st down. Montgomery. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Here we go.
Fields now to throw.
Incomplete.
Right now, the story of this game continuing to be the defenses, because the offenses, they're finding it difficult to establish any rhythm whatsoever.
I like how you come to us in praise of defense, Brandon, because that's exactly right. That was an incompletion for us there, but we've seen it throughout this game. Both of these defense coordinators, they're a step ahead of their offensive counterparts.
And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
A big kick that time, 52 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out now come the Vikings. And, Charles, they're certainly still right in this game, but they need that offense to wake up and in a hurry.
Yeah, I like the way you put it. They certainly did seem to sleepwalk a bit in the first half. Now that their defense has done its job, it's their turn now to go out and try and get some points.
Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at their own 27. They start the drive with Cook. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, you don't turn your nose up at a gain of 4, do you? They'll take that on 1st down. Playbook's got to be pretty well open on 2nd and 6.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They run it again with Cook. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. It'll be a loss of a couple on the play, so now third down coming up.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that's caught inside the 35. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A big connection on that one. 37 yards. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well. They'll get a few stops.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. To throw, Cousins.
Throw caught there by Osborne.
And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down.
But look what we have here, a sustained drive, and that was certainly AWOL in the first half. They really struggled to try and move the football. But right now, they certainly seem to have the formula working. Let's see if they can keep it up.
One quarter remains here as we wrap up the week on a Monday night. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now at Soldier Field. It's the Vikings in possession of the football, but they need some points. They're trailing here to start the fourth. Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. And a coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. A give. This is Cook. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the 1st down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. The kick by Joseph is good. And they get themselves on the board here. It's 10-3.
Well, he was a spectator for much of this game. This is his first field goal opportunity of the entire.
Yeah, he had a pretty good seat to this one, didn't he? But let's face it, all kickers that you and I know, they want to contribute. They want their opportunity, and he seized his.
Joseph now to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as Grant opts not to return it. The Bears now ready to take over again.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the field goal a moment ago, so they'll be looking to string together a few first downs, likely on the ground as they begin 1st and 10. Now a give running left with Montgomery. He's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. If you can keep getting gains like that, Charles, with the lead here in the 4th quarter, I mean, keep running it, right?
No doubt about it, but what the offense coordinator has to do is understand they're going to continue to stack the line of scrimmage. What runs do you have in your arsenal that'll work against a stacked box and continue to move the ball?
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 99 yards on the ground for him now as he has gotten better, really, as the night's gone on.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed, they can't score.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw pulled in by Robinson here. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10. Running left, Montgomery. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What do we call them, run fits? Everyone was in the right place.
Back to Montgomery on 2nd down. And for one of the first times all night, he is going to go nowhere as they bury him behind the line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on 3rd. To throw is Fields. And this is going to be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So that CD, an important one here in the 4th quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
After the main field goal, Santos back out there to kick it away. This will be fielded inside the 5. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again.
And the complexion of this one has changed a fair amount. That last field goal made it a 2-score game, so they need to get points out of this drive relatively quickly. Cousins and the Vikings with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He'll find Thielen working the middle. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way.
A touchdown. On 1st and 10, Cousins lets it fly for Thielen. And it is incomplete. Good positioning there down.
Alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's 2nd and 10. Now Cousins. Open man is Osborne. He's got him. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made here at the Bears' 45-yard line.
All right, this is the time of the game where they're down a couple of scores, and they've really got to get some yards in chunks, and they know the defense doesn't want to give those up, but they've got to find a way to take them anyway.
Now the question is, can they string a few of those together? A 1st down throw for Cousins. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete.
And when you've thrown as many interceptions as he has in this one, you definitely start getting a little hesitant to throw the ball out wide because that's prime pick 6 territory. That time, he made sure the only guy who was going to catch it was sitting in the 3rd row.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Throwing, Cousins. Lets it fly for Thielen. And that is incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
An important play right here, 3rd and 10.
And I would expect pressure here.
On 3rd down, Cousins. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. Desperation time. Cousins on 4th down. That is caught by Thielen. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A big play that time through the air. 32 yards. On the defensive side of the ball, that's the definition of frustrated. You get them to 4th down, and then you allow a chunk play like that in the passing game.
Almost felt as if that play was drawn up in the dirt on the sideline. They pulled that from a game plan that wasn't this game, and they still made it work.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Cousins gives way to Cook. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. 53 yards on the ground for him now as he's done that on 15 carries.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Cousins. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. Tyler Conklin there to make the grab. And the Vikings have made it a one-score game again here in the fourth. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. We may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. Now Joseph tees it up to kick off following the touchdown. Jakeem Grant now to return. And he returns this to the 22. David Montgomery ready to take the field for the Bears' next possession. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's come together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably gotten some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game. First down, here's the run with Montgomery. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. Here's Fields. And he's got the speedster Goodwin. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it. They got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for second down. If they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up, that'd be the time to do it.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Handoff comes to Montgomery. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
From the 39, Fields. And his throw here's incomplete.
In the early days of the NFL, you could easily blame these drops on maybe some uneven or uncertain lighting in a stadium. Not anymore. The lights are pretty good.
Yeah, they're great here at night, but his second drop, indeed, not a good look. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on third down. Now Fields. Now he's flushed out right. And they'll get him down at about the 37, well short of the first. He opted to go with a scramble, gets 2 yards, and now it's 4th.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a first down.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This from 54 yards away. And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is. Maybe an important fourth quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the posts. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
Adam Thielen and the rest of the Vikings offense, they get set for their next possession. Let's see here, Charles. 6 catches, over 100 yards. Call that a pretty good day at the office.
And I love the accumulation, the catches, the yardage. That means he's having a pretty good impact on this ball game and really helping his team out in a big way.
Means he wants the football again, right?
And it's funny because some of these receivers are very vocal about how much they're getting it. Others are quieter, but they still let you know, give me the ball, I'm going to make a play.
Cousins on 1st down. Throw left side on target to Thielen. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They come up on a 2nd down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down to the wire. A throw over the middle taken in.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You've still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
First down now, but that clock rolling. Here's Cousins. Open man here is Conklin. Evades the tackler, and now some space. And he's taken down inside the 30.
And here we are in the 4th quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And we've reached the 1-minute mark in this game. Cousins. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. That would have set him back nearly 10 yards here on 1st down on the sack.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. They run with Cook. He's been busy tonight. A 4-yard pickup that gets them going forward, but still 15 yards left on 3rd down. They still got 2 timeouts. Got to start using them, don't they?
You absolutely have to. You save them for this situation, but you have to use them.
So 3rd down, and a field goal from here would be right about 50 yards as they try to get closer. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Cook. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. So now with 6 seconds remaining, we get a timeout on the field. So on fourth down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to potentially send us to overtime. And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. Pressure kick, and I thought he was going to hit it. I thought we were destined for overtime, but not the case.
Not at all. And they were already planning for the overtime you just mentioned, already saying, okay, what are we going to do if we get the ball? What happens on defense? Instead of that celebration and that little bit of euphoria, it turned into letdown city.
The win for the Bears just around the corner. They go down to a knee. So this one in the win column for the Chicago Bears. And this one won't be remembered for many offensive fireworks, but they did enough to get the job done.
And that's why it's a team game, because sometimes you have to lean on one part of your team. And they leaned on their defense. In fact, they probably went over there and asked for some help. Like, guys, we just don't have it in this one. Can you hook us up? And they did in a big way. Said, no problem. Put it on our shoulders. We'll carry you home. And they did exactly that.